right. All right. We are live. Brothers and sisters, we are live. This your man right here, the one and only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster. Um, the same as always. As you come in, give me a sound check. Let me know everything is okay. I know it's kind of off the cuff. It ain't, it's not Friday yet. But I figure I better go ahead and go ahead and do a live and stuff today and maybe one tomorrow. All right, Mr. Hernandez, how you doing? Thank you for giving me that sound check and stuff. Give it a few more minutes for everybody to get in here, and we can go into the topic of the evening and also answer a few questions from some of the texts that I had got over the weekend. So we give everybody a few minutes. Realize the sun is up and many of you may be out there still driving, so anyhow, I guess I'll go ahead and get into it. If you guys and stuff aren't familiar, the Jim Mueller, the deputy administrator of the FMCSA, has just signed another executive order giving extension to the hours of service for COVID relief that extends to food, paper, and any kind of relief products and stuff, that's dealing with COVID relief. They signed off on it back in, I believe, March. They signed off on it in March and stuff, and so it went on, and then it was discontinued for food and paper last month. And so I just got the confirmation and stuff that they will be they'll be reinstating it this weekend. In fact, it goes into effect August the 15th, which is 2 days from now. So August the 15th at midnight, that's when it'll be reinstated, and they're going to be doing it for 1 month. So it'll be from it'll start August the 15th, and then it'll end on September the 14th. So I don't know if you guys took advantage of it and stuff, during the first go around and stuff like that. It was definitely very helpful on my part. It was definitely a big help on my part and stuff, and so I made out pretty good. And stuff. A lot of places and stuff are opening, and so I was noticing when I went to Walmart today that some of the shelves and stuff were a little bit empty. They were a little bit on the empty side and stuff, and so I like, well, I wonder are they thinking about reinstating it and stuff, and so just lo and behold, there it is. So again, it goes back into effect August the 15th at midnight. So the difference is this time and stuff is that the first time around there was it was with COVID, there was only essential workers and stuff that can be out here. So, traffic was very light. Traffic was very light for the most part. Enforcement was very low. So, now that they grant this extension again and stuff, with a lot of traffic out here and stuff, we just urge people to be careful, especially in the Because again, a lot of the states that went into phase 2, and some of them now are just going into they're just opening up everything all together and stuff. In fact, some of the movie theaters now and stuff, I'm reading AMC and stuff, they're starting to open up some of their movie theaters. So, we can look around and we can see that things are, as far as travel and stuff on the highway, that things have gotten back to the way it used to. And so, with this extent, with this exemption, we just got to be careful and stuff like that. Unless you drive at night, if you're driving at night, then it's still kind of, it's still kind of light for the most part. Well, at least that's how it is in the Northeast and stuff. So, so yeah, that's, you can take it for what it is and stuff like that, and just, guys, just be careful and stuff, guys. They're gonna be, I'm pretty sure, with everybody coming back to work now and stuff, they probably gonna be kind of putting it on people and stuff like that and everything, so and how it works is because, I see a lot of subscribers that at the time when everything was going on, people were just going to school and stuff. And so now that you got your license, how it works is that as long as you got a load of food or paper or anything that's dealing with groceries, any kind of relief, any kind of COVID relief stuff, as long as you got that load, you're able to drive, you're able to proceed to load, and you don't have to stop and take a 10-hour break or 8-hour break or whatever, just your 30-minute, just your 30-minute break and stuff. So, if you got a load from, say, California, to Jersey, the only thing they say is that, you drive until you're, if you're tired, then pull over and stuff. But, if you feel you're able to proceed with the load, you can do it. And once you get done with it, however, when you deliver, you must take a 10-hour break. Yeah, you have to log that you have to take a 10-hour break and stuff. And so, that's the only thing there. But as long as you got a load, you can drive that thing all the way to the consignee. You have to stop if you feel that you're up to drive. So, like I said, it helped me out a lot, cause it helped me out a lot and stuff, cause when I got to the shippers and consignees and stuff, they would still take long periods of time and stuff loading and just kill my clock and stuff. And so, I might be 2-3 hours behind or, whatever, and I just proceed on and deliver the load, and that was that. So, so yeah, so, they helped out there and everything. And let's see, what else I got done. One of the questions somebody had asked me, I guess I'm going to the Q&A part now and stuff, so one of the texts somebody had sent me and stuff is that they were talking about the DD15 motor. He was interested in buying a DD15, a truck that had a DD15 motor in it, and the mileage was between 600 to 800,000 miles on it, and so would it be a good buy? And so my response to it is that there's a lot of variables that you have to take into consideration. So I'm gonna just go through I guess the strenuous process of what you need to be aware of if you decide that you're purchasing a truck. Is that number one, truck engines are more of a preference. They're more of a preference, like, what is it that you like specifically, as opposed to which is the better motor. You can't say, can't get up here and say a Detroit is better than a Cummins, and I can't say this motor is better than this motor and stuff. They all pretty much operate the same. They got the same horsepower, the same capacity to do whatever. So that's the first process of elimination, is that there's no no one motor that's better than another motor. It's just all your preference, because at the end of the day, they still got the same horsepower. Contrary to most people believe, they say, well, a cat motor, for instance, is stronger than a Detroit, or a Cummins. And so it's that's just not true. I done been to enough diagnosis shops and stuff to know that that's just not it. I mean, again, it's a preference. Just like certain cars and stuff that's out here. A car just takes you from one point to the next. So it's just all on what you like to have under your motor. But if you have a 475 horsepower and stuff, regardless of what motor you have, then that's what it is. It's a 475. But unless you're one to go and keep an eye on your tuning, when you go get it diagnosed, when you go get your diagnostics and stuff, if you want to keep an eye on your tuning, then you'll know exactly what that motor and stuff is doing. So again, there's very deep sciences to it. But that's the first thing you got to eliminate, that there is no one motor that's better than another motor. The cost of them are now the same. It doesn't matter if to get a motor rebuilt and stuff, regardless of what block you may have, it's going to cost you the same thing. Parts are going to cost you the same thing. So some people, some mechanics are, they have their preferences and stuff on what they want to work on and stuff like that. A lot of people say, well, they prefer the Detroits over the Cummins, or some people say, well, I prefer the Cummins over the Detroit. And you got your cat specialists and stuff like that. So to each his own. So you just gotta find that niche too. But to purchase any motor, especially if it's a DD15 and you're talking about a post-emission motor, post-emission. So the only thing that makes motors bad is because of the very emission system itself. But the emissions are tied into the ECM, and it's something that can't be ignored. So if you're having problem with your emission system, then it's going to affect the performance of the truck. And only because it's tied into the ECM to say, well, you got to get it fixed, as opposed to saying, well, you know what, it's just going to be what it's going to be and stuff. Cars, those one boxes, they aren't reliable. They're only going to give you 5 years, regardless of whether you get a remand or a brand new one box. You just got 5 years on and stuff, and then after that, that's it. They haven't came and done anything to make them reliable and stuff. Again, when you're buying a used truck, a lot of people tend to stay away, and they're starting to recognize that, to where the dealerships are losing money, and they're saying that they're going to be working with you now and stuff, to remove the fear. Well, I ain't gonna say the fear. You remove the stigma that comes with purchasing a post-emission truck. But that's all it is. What makes motors bad and stuff is the emissions, and that's only because it's tied to the ECM. So those who know, and I ain't gonna go too much into detail about that, because I feel I've already covered that so much and stuff, man. It's like beating a dead horse at this point. So that's it. Buying a truck that has that many miles on it, so you're saying that you want to go the used truck route, which is okay. But I'm gonna just be real and stuff, especially those now. If you're in a position to where you were fortunate enough to get your SBA loan and stuff. Um, if your knowledge is very small about the industry itself, then it will be better for you just to get a new truck. And the reason why I say it's better for you to get a new truck, because you're having to learn the truck and you're having to learn how to make money with the truck. So what you want to do is a process of elimination. A lot of people have fears of breakdowns, and they don't know what to do, how to do it, or where to carry it to, and so on and so forth. So if you got the new truck, then you got the bumper-to-bumper warranty and stuff. So you can go to the dealership and you can get somewhat of an understanding. Well, you'll start to get an understanding just as you get a grasp of the industry itself. So used trucks are usually for people who have a better knowledge about what they want to do, what they want to do, what they want to run, and what they plan to do with the equipment if something's going wrong with your truck. All right, brother preacher, how you doing? See, when you got a used truck and something's going on, you already know where to carry your equipment to. You already got an understanding. You're driving it, you're getting familiar with it and stuff to a point to where you're already on top of what's going on with your equipment. So it's not even going to qualify. It's still a breakdown, but it's not going to put you down on the side of the road or something like that. You already, okay, the truck's sounding funny, it's riding funny and stuff. Let me go ahead and get it checked out and stuff, and then bam, took care of this, that, or whatever. You had an understanding and you were familiar with what you need to get. Just like right now, I'm over here at Fleet Pride. I'm over here at Fleet Pride and stuff, and I bought a couple things for my equipment. So that's that real preventative maintenance that you're doing. So when you're on top of that, you got to understand you're familiar with your equipment. You know what's going on. You can take care of what needs to be taken care of, and there's no guessing. As opposed to getting a used truck and then having to carry it somewhere, and somebody done beat you out of $5,000-$6,000 over a simple repair bill. And you get too many of those. And then something really does need your attention, and it needs that capital, and you done spent $10,000-$15,000 on what you thought was a big problem, and it wasn't and stuff, and then you didn't get the chance to recoup your money. So that's what puts you down right there and stuff. So if you're in that position there, and stuff, and you have very little knowledge about the industry, then the best route for you to do is to get you a new truck. Used trucks are for people who have an understanding about the industry. They know where to go, what to do, so on and so forth. And it's a lot of information to take in. And stuff. And so many things go on out here. Even myself, when it took me, I look now and I say, if I had this same understanding of the industry now than I did 8 years ago when I got my first truck through the bank, I would probably still have my first truck. I would probably still be riding around with my first truck. Or if I would have got my second truck, I definitely would have went through a lease purchase program to get it and stuff. I would have got something probably what I wanted. But I got the truck. I had very little insight about the industry, and so everything was coming at me in one place, and so I got comfortable in this position of saying, I was making money not the correct way, and I wasn't making it consistently. So I didn't understand the importance of putting away my money and putting the escrow and just hoping that the equipment and stuff just holds up, which it did for the most part. It held up, it never put me down to a point to where, I was stuck on the side of the road or whatever, the entire time I was financing it through the bank. But uh, a clutch, you know, a clutch is not too much of a big deal, but being that I wasn't prepared, right? I wasn't doing the right things with my money, it became a big deal. I had to park my truck broke down, where the clutch went out on it in January. It went out in January of 2012. And from January 2012, the truck sat all the way to, 2013. January 2013, the truck sat for 7 months until I finally got it fixed in July. And what I had to do, I had to jump into a lease truck. Now, my truck was $946 a month. My truck was $946 a month, and I was in this lease truck paying $775 a week. $775 a week to get the repair on my Volvo. The clutch and stuff like that was going to cost me $2,000. It took me 6 months. And stuff, man, to get that money together. 6 months to get everything together to go get the truck and stuff fixed. And it was tough, man. I was just, I was trying to gather the money. The money wasn't coming in consistently. I had what I thought at the time and stuff was very heavy expenses and stuff, but compared to today's time and stuff, it's just a cakewalk. But that was the thing there. Dealing with brokers, and then dealing with my home life and stuff like that. So I just really didn't have my stuff together. So when I finally got my truck, just through working, and I got almost 3 months behind on my truck. I got all that caught up, and then I had the money to get my truck and stuff fixed. And then I transferred from I was at Roadrunner, and I transferred from Roadrunner LTL to Big Rock Transportation. And so when I made that transfer, that's when I pretty much had everything down packed. Problem is that I done gave all of my my truck and stuff. It's just by me not taking care of it the way I was supposed to. Like, I didn't put coolant in the reservoir. I put water. I was running water in the truck, and so that water took its toll on the block. It took a toll on the block and stuff, and destroyed my head gaskets. It probably destroyed the heads and stuff, cause you running water, but see, you don't know those things and stuff. You just putting water in the coolant tank and stuff like that. Oh well, and that's the wrong thing to do. I don't even understand why they call certain parts on the like water pump. They shouldn't even call it water pump. They should call it coolant pump. You shouldn't put. Only time you put water on this truck is just to wash it. But I put that water in there, and so of course, water. The science of water and stuff and metal is that when it gets hot, it boils. And so water mixed with metal and heat, that's not good on your metals, and they call your motors, precious metals. And so you got all that water going in there, evaporating and stuff. And so it got to go somewhere. And so it's expanding the metals inside of your block, which will cause, it'll cause damage to your head gasket and to your head. You warp your heads. You warp your head or you warp your block. Now you got to get a whole new engine, all because you ran water instead of coolant. On this truck here, on my first truck, my Volvo. Because this truck here is fine. This truck here is fine and stuff, but on the Cascade, yeah, everything's fine. Everything's running fine. But on my Volvo and stuff, that's what happened, man. And there again, because of me not having the money to fix the problem and stuff at hand, I had to park that truck, and that's how I got in Sky Roost. And so having that understanding, but now my expenses are a lot higher. How much would you suggest for someone to have in their maintenance? You need to put as much money in there as you can. But starting out, you need to have at least $20,000. You need to have $20,000, man. That's a good starting point right there. And so people say that they're getting over here with carriers and they're making good money. You ever replace your front? Yeah, I replaced them. Yeah, in fact, yeah. It's funny you mentioned that and stuff, cause yeah, I got them. I replaced all of them today. That's why I'm over here at Fleet Pride and stuff. I got them all changed out and stuff. So I got the alignment done, got the shocks and stuff replaced. So, but yeah, you need to have at least $20,000. And so I tell you, like, if people always talking about how much they making good money and all that stuff there. So I say commit yourself to putting $1,000. Put yourself $1,000. If you feel you can't do it, then you need to tell the carrier and stuff, man. Look, I need y'all to put away $1,000 in my escrow, because a lot of people don't have financial discipline. They don't have financial discipline. The shocks, I don't know yet. I haven't drove yet and stuff. I just, like I said, I got them fixed. I hooked up to the trailer, and I gotta wait for my time and stuff to come back. So I'm hoping that everything and stuff is it's on the up and up, cause the only thing I can think of now is my steer tires and stuff. The fact that the alignment was done a little bit too late in the life of them, that they may have to be replaced, which is, I'm hoping that ain't the case, but I mean, it is what it is. Let's see. How do you feel about warranties on used tractors? Are they even worth it, or is it better just to save your money for your own maintenance reserve? Okay, it's good. Having a warranty is good, and then it's not so good. A warranty is just like having insurance. It's just like having insurance on your car, right? Somebody runs into you, and your car got to go in for repairs, right? Now, it ain't your own. It's not your fault. It's their fault. So with the warranty, how it works is that your truck goes to the shop. And so when your truck goes to the shop, they're gonna ask you how you're gonna take care of it. And so you saying, well, okay, well, this is under warranty. So they're gonna give you a number. So the warranty people are gonna give you a number, and they're gonna tell them to do a check and advise. So they're gonna do a check and advise, and they're gonna come back with their findings, right? And so now they're going to be discussing what's going on. So now your warranty people are going to be looking to see the problem that caused the issue. Is it something that's covered under warranty? So they got this clause in there where they say big component, small component. If a small component caused the big component to go out, then you got to pay for both of them. If the bit component failed on its own, right, they have to run a series of tests. And if the bit component failed, right, then under warranty you're covered. Now, if they run the test and they say the component failed because of a small component, then now you got to pay for the check and advise, all the hourly service and stuff, and then now you got to pay for the repair, because what they're going to say is that Even though, let's just say your turbo, right? Well, your turbo failed. Your turbo failed and stuff, which is under warranty. But when they did their check and advise, they seen that the turbo failed because of something from that. You didn't change your air filter. You didn't change your air filter and stuff, and so a lot of dirt got clogged up and stuff in there and everything, and so it's a small component, right? But it caused the big component to fail. So now you got to get the air filter and the turbo and stuff like that. So those are the type of conditions that you're in. So if you get a warranty, understand what the warranty is. Read some of the reviews from some of the people that had to deal with some of the warranty people, and then make your decision there, guys. You got this waiting game that's going on. What you want to do, you want to get your truck, you want to get it fixed, and you want to get out there on the road. And so the best way to do that is to have your own capital in place. You need to have your own capital and stuff in place. And say you want to challenge it with the warranty later. Like, let's just say I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pay for it, and then you guys reimburse me, right? That means that you're paying your money, and you know that you're going to get paid on the back end, so you can go to work now to keep everything on the up and up. That's where you need to be at. It's a good safety net to have. But it's not something that you need to rely on totally and completely. Be in that position there and stuff. If you're going to get a warranty, then fine, get the warranty. But make sure that you're also putting capital away, right? So you're in that position there. Okay, well, look, it failed. I'm going to pay for everything, and then you guys reimburse me, And so you make out better that way and stuff there, because see, now you're in control. You can go in there, you can tell them to check and advise and stuff like that. And, they're going to do everything that you tell them to do because you're the one that's in charge. So when they print out the work order about everything that was done, now, anything that may prevent you from having your warranty covered, because they're going to go based on that work order and everything, so yeah. So they're going to go based on that work order and stuff. So when you turn that in there and stuff, okay, they fix the component. You tell them what you tell them what you want on the work order and stuff like that. You turn that in, and then they reimburse you. You just do it that way and stuff. So yeah. But just make sure that you're putting away the capital necessary and stuff, because those warranties and stuff, they're kind of good to have, but they're not the say all and be all. Your prime objective is to get the equipment, get it fixed, get back out here on the road, and just make your money back one way or the other. You want to stay working, because you want your capital coming in and stuff, and it can't be doing that when your truck is sitting at the shop and somebody else is in control of the repairs and stuff, and their job is to make, warranty companies is a business just like insurance. Their job is, of course, to make sure that you're covered, but they want to make sure that if they can keep the cost and stuff down, that's what they're going to do. Let's see. How do you feel about buying, let's see, Ryan say, how do you feel about buying a used tractor from, say, Snyder or Ryder versus a dealer like Arrow? Okay. When you're purchasing a truck from a fleet, right, especially a mega carrier, then you got to understand, company drivers aren't going to take care of equipment like own operators are. And that's because you're an employee. So when the truck breaks down, you ain't got nothing to lose, right? And a lot of these mega carrier policies, like when I started out with Snyder, when you called in and said that you have a breakdown, they didn't want you diagnosing what was wrong. You just called in and say, hey man, the truck is broken down and I'm over here. And then they do all the diagnosing. That was it. That's all you did. You called in, you told them what was wrong. Now you called them, you told them your truck was broke down. Are you and where's your position? Like, all right, are you stuck on the side of the road, or are you, or you know, where are you at? Do we need to send a tow truck? Well, you know, they're gonna you know, if you're on the side of the road and stuff, of course they're gonna send a tow truck out. But you know, if you sit like at a customer or whatever, and they tell you, okay, listen, sit tight, we're gonna send somebody out there and everything and stuff, and that was that. And you know, all the information and stuff was between the fleet manager and the person that was fixing the truck. So you didn't know what was wrong. You just say, hey man, truck's broke down. That's it. So if it's not your business to get involved in it, right, then, you know, 9 out of 10, you're not going to do it. You know, they're in charge of all the maintenance and stuff like that. If you need oil, you know, if you need oil, they tell you, look, we'll route you into a terminal and check your oil and check what's going on with the truck and all that stuff there. Your job is just to drive the truck. That's how it is at mega carriers. And so a lot of guys aren't familiar with, they know how to operate the truck to get it, you know, to get it to move or whatever, but that's it. You know, they don't know any of the sciences that goes into the trucks. So when somebody drives the truck, they don't know about optimized shifting. Even if they got an auto shift truck, they don't understand the importance of optimized shifting, you know, acceleration, braking, those sort of things there and stuff, you know, tire alignment, shocks, you know, just the real comings and goings and stuff like that, the real deeper sciences of the truck. You know, that was it. I mean, you can't even get some of these guys and stuff, man, to wash the truck. You know, the best they'll say, hey, look, I'll keep the inside clean and stuff, and that's that, you know. So then when you got a whole fleet of people like that, right? When it's time to sell that truck, they sell it based upon two conditions. Number one, troublemaking truck. This truck is a troublemaker. The fleet manager looks and stuff, and they looking at the average. Okay, they set an average, and they want every equipment and stuff to be either getting that fuel mileage or somewhere around it, right? Basically, cause they know the drivers aren't going to do it. You know, they don't understand. They're not even trying to teach you any of that stuff. So the troublemaker truck is that truck that's always breaking down. It's like, man, the driver's in it, and it's always breaking down. It's always breaking down. Every time we turn around, it's always breaking down. So when the truck goes back to the dealership, they just saying, man, listen, we'll go ahead and get rid of it for you. We'll go ahead and get you out this truck right here and give you another truck, and then we'll do what we can and stuff like that. So then what they do is that they go and they'll fix the truck and stuff, and they'll put it out there for sale. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see, hold on, I think you just said, let's see, yeah, okay, yeah, that's why buying a no mileage fleet truck is a red flag. Yeah, it's not always the case, but if you're looking at a mega carrier, if you see that truck is orange or blue or red, if it's orange, blue, or red, and you go out there to that dealership and you see that truck probably has about 250,000 miles on it. It got 250,000 miles. This is what, a 2000? Well, that truck right there is a 2019. It's orange, red, or blue, and it's got 200,000 miles on it. That's a troublemaker truck. So they're going to sell it to the own operator at a good deal and stuff, hoping that you have an understanding about the equipment, because you can get the truck and you'll probably know what's wrong with it and stuff like that, because see, you got a more in-depth knowledge, as opposed to the fleet manager. He's not driving the truck. He got a computer to monitor everything. The mechanics, the mechanics aren't gonna fix it, because they don't have anything to lose in it. Their job is to bring the equipment in, fix it, and send it out there on the road. That's it. That's their job. So they don't have anything to gain or lose from it. The driver doesn't have anything to gain or lose from it. So when it's there at the dealership, again, it's now based upon how much knowledge you have. So when you look at that truck, you already know, okay, I might be getting into a little bit of trouble. But because of you having an understanding and the sciences and stuff that go with the truck, you know that purchasing this truck, okay, all right, this was wrong with it, right? You could probably take the truck, tear the whole thing down, right? And find out what the problem is, rebuild it back up, and then you back out there on the road. You see what I'm saying? That's the position you need to be in if you're talking about buying a used truck. So when you see guys out here, when you see own operators and stuff out here that get into those trucks and stuff, and then they typically got the truck at a real good deal. They like, man, shoot, I couldn't pass that deal up, man. The truck had 200,000 miles on it, but they got an extensive knowledge, and some of them, even though they probably old mechanics and stuff like that, they got a team together. And stuff, and they found out what the problem was and stuff, and put the truck back together and sent it on the road. Prime example. What's that motor? Oh, Max Force. Okay, the Max Force engines. Now, from a company's perspective, they say, oh man, bro, these trucks almost put us out of business. But from an own operator perspective, they hit a gold mine. They like, man, what? That truck is how much? $5,000. I'm gonna go buy, $5,000 a piece of stuff. He go buy all 4 of them, because he already know what the problem is and stuff. He's like, all right, well look, the problem is the truck's got cancer. So the truck's got cancer and stuff. So let's send them to the cancer treatment center and get that cancer removed. And now you got the cancer removed. You got that cancer removed and stuff. So that cancer removed, now you got pretty much a well-working truck. You ain't spend but very little money on it, $5,000. So now you can start talking about, all right, I'm gonna keep one for myself, and I'm gonna put 3 other drivers and stuff in it and everything, but I'm gonna keep an eye on the trucks. So, people who have small fleets, they tend to take care of their trucks and stuff a little bit more. So that's the science on that. As far as like buying trucks from Snyder. Now, Ryder on the other hand, they got something to lose. So they work in coordination with, they got their places and stuff that they work on the trucks, which that means they got an extensive knowledge of whatever truck they buy. If it's the Freightliner, they can work on the Freightliner just as well as the dealership, and then the dealership itself. So they work in coordination with each other, because Freightliner has to fix the trucks, otherwise Ryder ain't gonna buy them, right? And then Ryder's got to keep those trucks fixed, otherwise ain't nobody gonna rent the trucks. So they got a vested interest to make sure that your business stay moving. So when it's time to sell the truck, it's been well maintained. But when they sell their trucks, they usually got high miles on them. When it's time to get rid of them, they ride those trucks out. Some of those trucks have had like $1.5 million, and they say, okay, yeah, let's go on sell them, because of the business and stuff that they run. But their business is a well-oiled machine and stuff. They can't be giving you no junk. That's why you don't, Ryder and Penske and stuff, they got a 2-hour policy. You get one of their trucks, and their trucks break down the side of the road, they got 2 hours to either have the truck fixed or have you another truck and up on the road and stuff. Then they take that truck back and they find out what's wrong with it. When I was a company driver and they was renting trucks from Penske or whatever and stuff, I blew a ride, right? I blew a ride and stuff in the truck, and they came and when I went to get the truck back and stuff, I mean everything on that hood was brand new, everything and stuff, man, brand new, 60 series Detroit, brand new transmission, brand everything on that hood was brand new, you know, because their vested interest was to keep the business and stuff moving. They were like, you know, I was with Trans Am at the time, so they're like, you know, if we give Trans Am raggedy trucks, then they ain't gonna want our business no more and stuff. That's how Ryder and your Penskes and stuff work. But when you buy a truck from them, the truck is old. That's why they sell it, because, you know, it's pretty much done its job and stuff. But it's been well maintained. So now when you get it, you got to do the same thing. You know, it's got to be well maintained. You might luck up and say, well, shoot, you might luck up and stuff, and by the time you bought the truck had a brand, you know, before you got it, it had a brand new they probably put a brand new engine in it. You know, that sort of deal there and stuff. But you know, they don't have, at Ryder and Penske, they don't have troublemaker trucks. They have to fix those trucks and stuff, man. So whatever it takes, if it takes, okay, taking this motor out, taking this one box out, whatever it is to keep that truck moving, that's what they're gonna do, because their job is to service customers and stuff and make sure whoever gets those trucks don't break down and stuff. So did I meet some ex-cons while I was at Trans Am? Now you got to remember, when I was at Trans Am, it was a different time. It was a different time in trucking. That was back in 2000. That was in 2003. Look at me, how I'm sounding. You know, back in my day, Sonny. Back in 2003, that was real trucking. None of this stuff like it is today and stuff. But I don't know. Let's see. I don't think it was any ex-cons. Or they were just, Trans Am was making the transition into what they are now and stuff. Cause they were kind of, when I was at Trans Am, they was real laid back. When I say they didn't care what you did, bro, they didn't. The only thing they cared, look, just make sure that the load is there on time. That's it. They gave you the truck. And stuff, man, and the sky's the limit. You know, the sky's the limit and stuff, man. I mean, when I worked for them, I had a real. Everything was okay until when they bought them. And like I said, you know, you got to think back, right? Long time ago. When Trans Am bought them T600s, that's when they started changing, man. They were like, you know, before then, they didn't care. They were like, man, look, you know, turn your logs in once a week. Turn in your logs once a week, and the sky's the limit. And I made plenty. That was the first carrier I worked for, and I started making some real money. I started making some serious cash as a company driver over there. But they ran me so hard over there, man. I started having nightmares. I started having nightmares in the daytime, man. So I was, you know, the walls was kind of closing in on me and stuff. I just started to get, I don't know, it's just, you know, when you work and you making the money and stuff and you got the opportunity to make it, that's good, but then you can get carried away and stuff, man. And so when you get carried away, it's like I ain't got, you know, I'm not safe nowhere and stuff. I feel like, you know, when I go to sleep, when I go to sleep and stuff, man, I should be safe. But man, it got so bad. I mean, I go to sleep and like I had dreams of, you know, people stabbing me and stuff, and I can, you know, it ain't no, you know, like in your dream and stuff, right before the person stab you, you wake up. No, I want none of that. It's like I'm getting stabbed and shot, and I'm like, you got all types of blood and stuff on you. Like, bro, what the heck? And you trying to wake up and you can't. And then when you finally wake up, now you in, you realize, oh man, I'm in the truck, and it's like, I'm not safe nowhere and stuff, man. I'm like, dang, dude, if I go to sleep, I ain't safe doing that and stuff, and I need to go to sleep because I'm tired. But that's how hard I was running, man. But they didn't care how hard you ran. But the one thing, they didn't want you to run in the snow. Like, I don't understand, like that dude that got fired, and stuff, man. Was I parking on it, man? Look, anywhere, bro, anywhere I can get that truck pulled over and stuff. And I got like power naps, like, you did like real, power naps. Like, okay, look, I'm gonna pull the truck over and stuff. I'm gonna sit right here in the seat and just flop my legs and stuff over there. And I'm gonna give me 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, you're like, you know what? Up and at 'em, and you ready to ride. Cause the customers we served at the time, like they took so long. Unloading. That's where you want to get your break in right there. Like, you guys you're gonna be there all day anyway. So, all right, cool. You back up in the door. That's where you go to sleep. And then, after you unload it, you go after the next load and stuff like that. And then, all right, let me see how hard I can push it. Let me see how hard I can push it and stuff. I'm like, and so, yeah, it really tested the limits and stuff, man. I'm like, I saw I can be in one spot one day and down here the next day, and I done knocked out so many miles in between. Like, dude, I done got down here early. Like, I had a weekend load. From Boston to Dallas, and I got down there a whole day early. You say, these rates are the best you've seen since 2018. I mean, with a lot of these businesses and stuff opening back up, with the demand of products and stuff, guys, remember that exempt, we was exempt from March all the way to July. Well, they implement that on August the 15th, where you can drive and stuff again, just like it was, back during the COVID release. So, yeah, I mean, you gotta give some credit where credit is due. Like those drivers that went to Washington and brought attention to the industry and stuff about some of those rates, that affected some of the brokers and stuff, because you can see where they now are. You can talk to them, and they got an understanding that, hey, listen, you mean business. So, I still won't say that you're safe in the spot market. But, you can do okay and stuff. And I imagine now stuff, you probably gonna do, at least this month, with the floor freight and stuff like that, and the exemption coming into play. If you're on the spot market now and stuff, I mean, you're gonna do good, but it's still, it wasn't like that the first part of the year, from January up to I'm gonna say April, cause this COVID thing kind of really that helped depending on what you did, so yeah, so that helped depending on what you did. But I mean, still, it's just, to me, it's just not where it needs to be. And like I always say, the spot market, the spot market and stuff is the only reason why you're making money on the spot market, why you always ever had made money on the spot market, was because you were able to put 2 and 3 loads and stuff together and turn them in and stuff, as opposed to somebody that was on a contract load. So, you got this load here and it's only paying $500, but then you got 3. You done did 2, and then you finishing up on your 3rd when you got 15, and then shoot, you do that times, you multiply that by 5, there you go. As opposed to somebody on a contract, on a contract load, they might pick something up today. What's today? What, Thursday? And they ain't delivering till Saturday, and you on a 7-day rotation, so this person might only have two and a half loads. Well, I ain't gonna say 2.5. You just got 2 loads in versus, you got you doing what, 3 a day on a 5-day rotation. So you got 15 loads versus you got 15 loads versus this dude 3. You doing 15. When you doing 5, you doing 400 or 500 a pop. Yeah, that thing there. But man, it's ridiculous for anybody to sit there and say, man, yeah, I'm just making money off the spot market. It's like I said, there's some guys that can make it though. I mean, my man, there's some that's doing it, but they are the exception. Because I'm going to tell you what I don't see them doing. I don't see them, they probably making money off the spot market, but I don't see them saying, well, you know what, I'm thinking about getting a 3rd or 4th truck. I got my whole fleet running off the spot market. I don't see that, So, and I ain't gonna say because they not doing it, they ain't making no money, but they got some common sense to know, man, look, all right, I ain't trying to expand. I'm not trying to expand either. There's no room for expansion. It's enough money for me and what I do to take care of me and my family and live good. But that's it. As far as like, okay, turn this into a operation. Nah. Let's see. Next week, I'm bringing my truck into a mom and pop for an overhead. I hope they don't care about my service. No, hey, as long as your money is green, or the check that you cut them is legit and they can spend the day, you call the shots. And if you feel for any reason, anything otherwise, then you tell them, man, hey, look, I'm gonna just go somewhere else. Before you leave your equipment there, make sure that they making you feel like, okay, I can leave my stuff here and they ain't about to interrogate me like the feds. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the right thing by mom and pops and stuff, but still, you make sure you ask the correct questions and stuff like, hey, do y'all need to go on my ECM for anything? You need to go on my ECM for anything and stuff? All they should be telling you is no. If they say anything other than, like, why? If they say that, tell them, never mind, hey, that's okay. I'm gonna go somewhere else. As long as they ain't got to go in that ECM for nothing, that's the thing right there. They don't need to be plugging it up and talking about, some same thing when they do that overhead. When they do your overhead and stuff, that all they need is measurement tools. That's it. They don't need to be plugging it up and seeing, let's see what the heart, they got to go plugging that thing up and stuff. You already know right there and stuff. They doing something else other than what they need to be doing. So that's your thing there. You know, you go to any shop. If you go to any shop, whether you have surgery or not, if they got to be plugging this thing up and stuff, then you already know it's a setup right there. Well, we got to put on the EC. No, we got to plug this thing up. No, you don't need to be plugging nothing up. And if they ask you why not and stuff, tell them because you're gonna be messing up, because you might go in and hack my hours of service, you know, my logs and stuff, and I can't be having that. Because that's kind of the truth, but that's the thing there. Any shop you go to, unless you specifically tell them, hey, listen, I want you to go inside this ECM, then whatever you tell them and stuff, they look, as long as your money is green, as long as your check or that card as long as that card you can swipe, as long as that check can be cashed, then that's the only thing that matters. You know what I'm saying? I mean, last time I checked, I think state troopers and stuff they hiring, and EPA they hiring and stuff too, but you know, you got to go to them directly. You don't need to be going to no shop, you know, and they interrogating you and stuff like that, you know, like the feds, you know, like asking you a whole bunch of questions they ain't regarding anything that you know. I came in here because I want my truck fixed, and don't get me wrong, I mean, you got some folks that's out there like that. You got some folks out there like that and stuff, man. I'm like, you know, trying to think. Let's see, where was I at? I was trying to get something done. And stuff, man, and they was talking about running the diagnostics. I told them, no, that's all right. You ain't got no reason to be going in there and stuff, man. But, you know, we got to check and make, you know, you ain't got to check nothing. You ain't got to check nothing and stuff, man. You know, shoot. I can reset everything and stuff right off this stuff I got in my truck. So, you know, yeah. But, just to do a recap, just remember that the hours of service extension and stuff has been approved by Jim Mueller, which is the Deputy Administrator of the FMCSA. That goes into effect August the 15th at 12 o'clock midnight. And that's going to be for 1 month. So from August 15th to September the 14th, that's when it's supposed to be discontinued unless they put out another extension, which they probably will and stuff. So, you know, but so you got that going on. The science of new truck versus old truck, you know, motors and stuff, motors don't really matter. Doesn't matter what motor that you have and stuff like that. It's all on if you want that truck, you know. If you want that truck and you want that specific motor inside that truck. But you know, other than that, a Detroit, you know, a DD15 is gonna do the same thing like an X15. Your pack car gonna do the same thing like your Volvo motors and so on and so forth and stuff. You know, pre-emission, you know, your pre-emission gonna do the same as your post-emission. You know, it's all on your preference. You know, if you understand what you're doing, right? You understand what's going on, but you know, the reality is if you understand if you understand what's going on and stuff, then you know this conversation won't be something new to you. But for those who don't, if you don't have an understanding, then the best way to get the understanding is by getting you something new. You know, hey, I know people want titles. I know you want to get your truck. I know you want to own that truck, but what good is it? What good is it buying a truck and owning the truck and you don't know how to operate it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, business, it has steps and stuff. It's just like, you know, you don't go to school on the first day and they giving you a you don't go to school on the first day and they giving you a PhD. You got to work your way up. You get associates, you get a bachelor's, a master's, and then a PhD. Those are the steps. Same thing in business and in life in general, you know. You're not going to go in a martial art dojo and get a black belt on the first day. You got to learn the steps and the forms, you know. And so it's all on how much you're dedicated to getting this information to improve oneself. This is why I always say, continue to do your research, fact-finding, and studies. Harness on your skills every day. You know, because the more you harness on your skills, the more you practice on this stuff, you know, soon you get the stuff down pat to where it becomes second nature. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I mean, you know, I look at videos and stuff, man. I'm like, dude, I want to do that. I want to learn how to wire up my own stuff, and you know, I want to learn how to wire up my own stuff and hook my own stuff up where I ain't got to go to a shop, you know, like, hey man, if I had those tools and this amount of space and stuff like that, this is what I'm gonna start doing, you know. Cause I don't have access to a shop and stuff every day, you know. It's stuff I want to do, but then you go to a shop and then you gotta find somebody and stuff, and like, you know, the stuff I want to do to my equipment now, I gotta go all the way. It's either I got to do it myself or I got to go all the way down there to Florida. A state I don't run, to get the guy to do the work and stuff for me. And then, you know, I'm at his leisure, at his discretion. And you know, I don't want that. So, you know, it's gonna be some few hit and misses and stuff like that and everything, but you know, you learn. It's like if you're a company driver, you learn at somebody else's expense. You a company driver, okay. But you got the truck and stuff, and you wanna you wanna take that next step and everything, learn at their expense. Alright, you ain't got to drive the truck wide open. They got all the information and stuff there, you know, and if you have any questions, ask. You have any questions, ask and stuff, man. Mechanics, they love to talk. Mechanics love, you know, contrary to most people believe, man, mechanics love to talk, man. They love to pass down information. They get you in, you know, you talk to the right one and stuff, man. They get you the right catalogs, and, you know, you get the tools for yourself, and then they telling you, hey, listen, man, it ain't that big of a deal. You know, you turn this wrench right here. Next time you run into this issue, this what you do and stuff, and then bam, you fixed it yourself. But you know, in this game that we call trucking, the game is to be sold and not to be told. So, you know, a lot of the information, unfortunately, if it's going to be extracted, you're going to have to pay for it one way or the other. You might not be paying for it up front and stuff, but you know, hey, you know, you got a few dollars and stuff like that and everything. I mean, shoot, you'd be surprised and stuff, man, what, you know, something as little as going to get some food. Like, hey, man, I'm in the shop. You know, I go to a shop or whatever. Hey, look, y'all fellas ate. Y'all ain't ate nothing and stuff. I tell you what, hey, look, food on me. You know, you ain't taking them to Red Lobster or nothing like that. Like, you know, they gonna order some pizza and some wings and stuff, and then, you know, while they sitting there and stuff and eating and getting merry and stuff, that's when you put your, you know, you go ahead and put your questions on out there, and they familiarize themselves, like, you know, then they remember you. Hey, look, that's that dude that took care of us. Then they gonna start taking care of you. Cause remember, you know, you trying to extract information. And that's what it's about and stuff. But you know, sometimes you gotta put up. But hey, I'd rather pay what, $50? I'd rather pay $50 and feed a whole shop, and then they remember me and stuff like that, and I'm coming in and stuff like that, like, hey, you know, they go rooster right there and stuff, man, what's up? Hey, look, I got this going on right here and stuff, what you recommend? Okay, well, shoot, hey, you know, you get this or whatever and stuff, and then some of that stuff, like, hey, man, I ain't gonna even charge you for that. You know, I ain't gonna charge you for that and stuff, you know. And something as little as some food and stuff, and they give you this information, you know, that can help you down the road. who knows and stuff, man. I mean, I get it down pack. I might just go and open up my own shop. Like, hey, of course it'd be on the East Coast or whatever and stuff like that. But I mean, who knows, man? But that's the deal there. You know, we don't have a lot of time, but what time we do, we just use it wisely. And so, you know, if anybody tell you that, you know, the information that you're getting it for free and stuff, that's a lie. And if anybody tell you that the free information ain't always the best information, that's a lie too. Because ain't nothing out here free. You know, time, energy, and resource and stuff, you know. All that stuff costs you. But anyway, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, oh, one more thing. I try to see if I can get people names and stuff right. I keep calling her LaShawn and stuff. Her name, you know, you're not LaShawn, it's LaDawn Jones and stuff. I don't know why I keep thinking it's LaShawn and stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's LaDawn, LaDawn Jones. So you know, you gotta forgive me for that and everything. But you know, sis, I appreciate it. I got your message and everything and stuff. I guess I didn't, you know, I kind of responded now and stuff, you know, cause I don't know, for whatever reason I got caught up in something. But yeah, LaDawn, I got you. I seen the message and you know, I get it. I get it. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time, your energy. I hope that the information that I gave was helpful. The weekend is not, I don't think I'm going to be, I will be busy, but not that busy and stuff. So, you know, again, if you know, you feel you want to talk, you want to go more in depth about information and stuff, just text me, let me know who you are and everything. I'll let you know when I'm open, and we go ahead and go and construct a dialogue and stuff. With that being said, this man right here, the one, the only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster, telling you as always, continue to do your research, fact finding studies, honest on your skills every day. Until next time we talk, next time we meet, be safe, be easy, peace out.